Good morning, children. I hope all are safe and happy. In the previous classes, we studied what is force and what force can do. In today's class, we are going to study the types of forces. The first force that we are going to study is the muscular force. What do you see in the slide? You see the man lifting the weight. How is he lifting? With the help of his arm muscles. Towards your right side, you see the athletes running. Yes, how are they running? With the help of their muscles in their legs. So what is muscular force? The force applied by the muscles of human beings and animals is called as the muscular force. So this muscular force results due to the action of our muscles, or simply you can say muscular force comes from muscles. Okay, because of this muscular force we are able to do our physical activities. Now in this slide you can see we are able to write, we are able to lift heavy weights, okay, we are able to walk, we are able to run. All these daily activities we are able to do only with the help of our muscular force. Like as animals also make use of their muscular force. For example, in this picture you can see the elephant is using its muscular force to carry logs, and these bulls are also able to make use of their muscular force to pull the cart. Okay, now the next slide, what do you see? The girl is throwing the ball up. Okay, you can also try this. When you throw the ball up, what happens? It comes back and falls in your hand, or when you drop it falls on the ground. Or does the ball go just to the heaven like that when you throw the ball up? No, it comes back to your hand. Similarly, when you are running, when you are jumping, when you are running, when you are jumping, when you jump, you just go to the sky like that? No, you come fall on the ground again. What is the reason behind it? There is some force on the earth which pulls everything to its surface. This force exerted by the earth on all the objects towards its surface is called as the gravitational force. Okay, this gravitational force is because of the earth's gravity. Now down at the bottom you see, who is he? He is an astronaut. Yes. Now do you think astronauts will be able to walk like us on the space? No, they cannot walk. What is the reason? Because there is no gravity in the space. Is this clear to you, children? Similarly, on the moon also, astronauts could not walk. That is because the gravity on the moon is comparatively very weak than the gravity on the earth. It is said that the gravity on the moon is only 1/6 times of the earth's gravity. Now this concept of gravity was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton. He discovered this concept at the age of 23 years. Now, so what is gravity? It is the earth's pull, or it is a type of force that pulls everything down to the ground. So the gravitational force is because of the earth's gravity. So because of this gravitational force we are able to walk, and all the things stay on the surface because of this gravitational force. The next thing is the magnetic force. Now in the slide you see the magnet. Yes, and you see all the iron substances are sticking to the magnet. What is the reason behind it? Because magnets attract iron things. Yes, so the force applied by magnet on an object made of iron is called as the magnetic force. Now when you take a plastic to the magnet, do you think the plastic will be attracted to the magnet? No, because plastic is not made up of iron. Similarly, you take your eraser. Eraser will get attracted to the magnet? No. Will it get attracted? No, it will not get attracted. So, magnets apply a force, or the force applied by the magnets on iron substances is called as the magnetic force. The last one is the frictional force. Now we are going to do this along with me. Now keep your hands together like you are praying to God. Yes. Now rub your hands. First start slowly rubbing your hands against each other. Now slowly increase the speed. Yes, increase. Now again slowly reduce the speed of rubbing your hands. Now slow down. Stop. Now tell me, when you keep your hands together and when you start rubbing your hands together and as the speed increases, what happens? You feel some heat generated between your palms? Yes, this is because of friction. When two substances rub against each other, there will be a force. Okay, or this force is called as the frictional force. It will act in the opposite direction. Now for example, you all must be riding your bicycles. Okay, when you ride your bicycle and when you apply the brake on your bicycle, what happens? The brake pressing against the tire and the tire will rub against the street. This is friction. Okay, and finally your bicycle will come to a stop. This is friction. So what is friction? Friction is an opposing force which always acts in the opposite direction of the motion of the object. Okay, it always acts in the opposite direction to the attempted motion. For example, when you roll the ball, what happens? The ball rolls, slows down and finally comes to a stop. It is because of the force of friction between the ball and the ground. So the frictional force slows down the moving object. Frictional force will liberate some heat energy. And not only that, we are also able to walk because of the frictional force. While walking, we push the ground backwards and the force of friction will act in the opposite direction, that is in the forward direction, and it will prevent us from slipping by making the balance. Okay children, that is the reason we don't slip. It is because of the friction between our shoes and the floor. Now, the amount of friction depends upon the type of surface. If the surface is rough, then the friction will be more. You can very well understand this when you are walking on a polished surface and a rough surface. When you are walking on the ground, how do you feel? You can feel the grip on the ground. When you walk on the floor which has some oil spill, or if there is some soap on it, what happens? You can feel it slippery. So what happens? There is no friction, which means that on smoother surfaces friction is less. Now in this picture you see the boy falling down. Yes, because he had stamped on a banana peel. Okay, that is because this banana peel will reduce the friction between his shoes and the ground and makes that place slippery, and that is the reason why the boy has fallen down. Similarly, the matchboxes in your house, on the two sides you can see some red color coating. When you touch them with your fingers, you can feel the roughness on the surface. It is because of this roughness, when you rub the matchstick against the matchbox, you are able to burn or light up the matchstick. But if the surface is very smooth, will you be able to light the matchstick? No, it will not be possible. So friction has certain advantages. It enables us to carry out our daily activities like walking, running, climbing, dancing, even writing. Children, you can try this out. Use a pencil or a pen and write on the paper. You will be able to write fast. Apply some oil on that paper. What happens? Now you write. Will you be able to write? No, it will start to slip. The pen or pencil, it will not have the grip as it had before, because when you apply oil or when you polish the surface, what happens? The friction becomes less. Okay, even in a house you can see when the door doesn't work properly, or if there is some noise in the door while closing and opening, what will a father do? A father will apply some oil on the hinges. When he applies the oil on the hinges, what happens? It will reduce the friction between the hinge and the door. Similarly, you all must be playing carom board at home. Yes, before playing carom board, what we will do? We will sprinkle some powder on it. Why do we sprinkle it? because it will enable the coins to move smoothly on the board. So by these methods like applying oils or spraying powders, you can reduce the friction. Very good example I could say is when you're riding a bicycle and you're not able to ride it properly, when you come and say this to your father, what will your father do immediately? He will apply some oil in the cycle chain. Have you seen? Then after that you will be able to ride your bicycle properly. So applying oil or polishing the surface, okay, or by applying some lubricant, you can reduce the friction. Okay children, so in today's class we studied the different types of forces. We studied what is muscular force, what is gravitational force, what is magnetic force, and what is frictional force. Okay, play the video once or twice and understand. That's all for today's class children. Thank you. Have a nice day.